Haha. Good morning. So, let's do a reading for Sagittarius for September 2017. I think I did I posted a bunch of basic advices on my personal Facebook page for everybody. I might go back and redo that on my actual tarot page. But Sagittarius, you are coming through very big time. Saturn is moving out of your sign. It stopped being in retrograde apparently a couple days ago, and it's now moving forward through your sign and will be moving into Capricorn, where it will be home in December. So like right around your birthdays, you will have a lot to celebrate because Saturn has basically been running amok in your life for the past years, like since 2014. And it's been affecting everybody. Like for Aries, it pretty much affects our philosophies and our religious beliefs and all of those very deep, philosophical, ideologies. But for everybody, it has a different meaning when a planet is in Sagittarius and messing around with it. So, but for you, it's actually going through your life and messing things up and forcing you to make hard decisions and learn hard lessons. And it's basically like a strict and stern father figure that kind of makes you work extremely hard to, achieve things in your life so that you have that kind of sense of accomplishment and work ethic and show you have, what it takes to be truly you. It forces you to grow. It's karma, lessons, all that kind of great stuff that's, really hard to get through, but it brings you to that new life. So but it will be coming out of your sign and moving into Capricorn in December. So whenever it's your birthday about-ish, whenever you're getting your solar karmic return as well, that's when Saturn will be moving out of your sign for a good, 30-ish years maybe. I can't remember how long it is. But it stays in a sign for at least 3 years. 40 years maybe will be the next time it comes back around. So yeah, a lot of upheaval, a lot of lessons, a lot of, just general muck in your life. That will be all over and done with, and you will have all of those lessons learned, and you will one day look back on it as this really trying, exhausting time in your life where things just never went right and it was really hard. But you learned a lot about yourself and a lot about how to get things done. And that's Saturn. And also Mercury will be going direct on September 5th, but it will still be in the shadow period. And of course we are in Virgo season, so watch for whatever placement Virgo is in your life, and that will be where you will be really doing some due diligence and working on details and fixing those things in your life that really need some work. So yeah, Sagittarius. Let's see if we can get a reading done for you guys. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. What are the energies? What is the advice? What is the circumstance, the major overall circumstance that Sagittarius needs to know about for the entirety of September 2017? Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Seems like you guys are struggling. It's kind of an awkward, hard energy, awkward and hard. So you got the Eight of Cups crossed by the Four of Wands reversed, the Seven of Wands, Foundation, Page of Swords in the past, Nine of Pentacles at the top of your thoughts reversed, Seven of Swords reversed in your future. Three of Wands, Seven of Cups, and Death reversed. Three of Cups reversed. Judgment reversed. Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. And the Eight of Wands reversed. In your overall message, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is a very stable energy. It can be a person who is either very spiritual or very grounded financially. Someone who's very generous, very practical, very good with money. Very kind and caring. Yeah. Very much surrounded by their abundance as well. So, in your past, you have the Page of Swords upright. This can be talking, communication, messages, news, truth being conveyed. It can be legal matters too. Any type of new project where you are trying to learn about it. You want to learn the rules of the game. You want to know more about it. It's information seeking. It can also be that, just information seeking and trying to figure out something about this new venture. It can be a messenger of some sort, somebody coming in and talking with you. It can also be a child. If you have a child in your life, an heir son child, it can be some sort of truth that was conveyed either by you or by someone else. In your current situation, you have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands reversed. The Eight of Cups is the energy of stacking up your emotions and walking forward to a new phase of your life. It can be walking away from a situation. You might be walking away from a relationship. It might be that you are sorting out all of your emotions. You might be mourning something. You might be going through the process of figuring out your emotions and getting stable and moving on to a new phase in your life. Or a new emotional standpoint, basically. If you see this person, they've stacked up all of these cards and they're walking away, but they're walking uphill. So it is a little bit of a hard journey, but they're gaining stable ground. In order to find stability in their life, they balance out their emotions, they stack them up, and they walk away from them. They leave the situation behind in order to gain stability. Even if it is harder on them, even if it is kind of like a hard thing to do, they walk away. So like as the challenge for this is this Four of Wands, which is instability in the home, unhappiness in the home. Usually upright, it's all about happiness and joy and marriage and a foundation to a good relationship. But when it's reversed, it's instability, that the relationship's not happy. It's not going anywhere. So I just realized something. Lord help me. Hi baby. I got 2 kitties around me now. So you might be walking away from the situation because of this instability, this feeling of unhappiness in this relationship. Guys, I cannot have 2 kitties on me. I just don't have the room. My goodness, Sagittarius. What is going on with you guys? It does not make me happy to see this for you. So you have some instability in your life. You have an unhappy relationship that you might be walking away from. And the challenge of it is this unstable foundation that was present. You guys never, you might have laid down this foundation, but it just didn't turn out right. The relationship might lack fire. It might lack passion. It might lack love. It's just not working out very well. And so this is the challenge that's crossing you and making you want to leave. You're packing up your stuff and you're moving on to solid ground so that you can have an emotionally stable life. But so like at the foundation, you have standing up for your beliefs, standing up for what you know is right. It's not the Justice card, though. That's what I'm thinking with this thing. I've been trying to, like, this has come up a bunch in, like, a lot of other different readings. So I've been, like, really paying attention to the card whenever it comes up and seeing, like, what kind of energies come through for me so that I can better, you know, read for people. And it seems like an ego card because it is passion, it is fire, it doesn't come from logic or anything airy. It's more about the belief that you have. You're defending your belief. And it's a lot about ego too, because wands can be a lot about ego. And sometimes you have to put your ego down in order to be more compromising, especially in relationships. I mean, you can't have... For a healthy relationship, you need compromise from both ends. People need to let down their pride, let down their ego in order to move forward in a healthy way. If one person does it and the other person doesn't, then that is unhealthy and imbalanced. But if both people do not like set down their ego, then, you know, of course it's going to erupt into like this huge battle of wills, and nothing is going to get done and progress very well. Come here, Isis. She just really wants to sit with me. You silly girl. I have my other kitty on my lap, and she's just like, but. So yeah, be careful how much you defend. I mean, if it's really, really important, if it's like, you know, you gotta ask yourself, though, what is important to you? Is this relationship more important than your ego? Is this relationship more important than what you believe? Because, I mean, real love, real true love, it breaks down your ego. And it forces you to look at yourself, and it will tear down absolutely everything about you in order for that love to come through. But yeah. So at the top of your thoughts is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. It doesn't seem like you want to be single, or perhaps this is a single person who is affecting you negatively. Usually upright, this is about a person who's very independent, very financially stable, is able to take care of themselves, is not codependent, has a lot of lavish abundance around them, and is very, very happy where they are, and doesn't really need anybody, but, you know, doesn't, like, not need anybody in a forceful way, like the Eight of Wands is, where you're, like, defensive and, like, I don't need anybody. And so, like, when it's reversed like that, it is like that. It's like, I don't need anybody in my life. I don't, you know, want anybody in my life. I'm just going to be the hermit, and, like, the extreme hermit, and push everybody out of my life, even if they're good for me, and, you know, my baby. And so she really, really just wants to be with me right now. I'm sorry. But, so yeah, this person is at the top of your thoughts. Either it's the energy of this person, or this is you yourself who is, like, thinking about this way of being where you just don't want anybody in your life. And, or it could be the upright version. It could be the upright version where this person is very stable, very financially set, and it's just affecting you, and that is why it's there reversed. But since my throat was closing up a little bit, that's not the way it is. Maybe it's a financially unstable person who is at the top of your thoughts right now, who you're thinking about. And then in the future, we have the Seven of Swords reversed, which is somewhat of a good thing. Being a reversal, it can go two ways. It can either be that you do not want to engage in shady activity anymore, you don't want to be a part of third-party situations, you don't want to be a part of intramarital affairs, you don't want to be sneaky or a thief or lying or any of that kind of thing anymore. And it was like an energy in the past, but now it's like you don't want to. It can be like that, or on the flip side, it can be that you are diving deeper into it. You are diving deeper into the shady thing. But it doesn't seem that way because you are walking away from a situation. So it seems like you are walking away from that phase in your life where you were kind of being shady, you were kind of being immature and not quite on the up and up. Or maybe this was another person in your life who was acting this way, and they wanted to be a third-party relationship with you, and you were like, no, I'm not having any of that, and I don't want to do this. And so you're the one that's walking away from the person that wants to have a third-party relationship. And so I found out something about my energy lines. Like, this can be your energy line, or this can be your energy line too. Alternatively, this can be your opposite, or this can be your opposite. So we're going to go through and see who is who. Whatever resonates with you is what resonates. So the Three of Wands is what we have here starting out, and that is watching for your ships to come in. This person, which is interesting too, because Three of Wands is also a third-party relationship. It's waiting for, like, it's actually being a part of the third-party relationship. there's these two people over here as these two wands, and you are part of that, holding on to this one wand, and then there's this other person over here who's outside of it. But the other meaning for this card is watching for your ships to come in. You had a passionate idea, you took action to go through with it and see it forward, and you made plans for it, and then now you are watching for your ships to come in, for your work to be realized. And as people see you or in the environment is the Seven of Cups. Choices. Somebody has a lot of choices to make, or there is a lot of confusion going on. With this card, there really is only one choice in this card, and that is the deep inner truth. If you can see on this card, there are 7 choices in each of the cups. One is a beautiful partner, one's like health. This dragon over here is power, this is victory, this is money and finances, this is home and stability with the Tower. But all of those other choices are illusions, and they can be taken away at any time. The only real truth choice that you can have that is stable, that is not an illusion, is this right here, and that's your deep inner truth. And so somebody's confused right now. They don't know which way to go, what way to turn. They don't know what they're doing. But their only real choice is to look inside themselves and find that deep inner truth. It's kind of like a Lover's card where you have the choice between what you want and what you actually need. And the deep inner truth is what you actually need instead of, chocolate cake. It's a choice between bananas and chocolate cake. So, in your emotions, hopes, and fears is the Death card reversed. Death card upright talks about transformation and change and the ending of a situation, transitioning from one phase of your life into the next, which is also about the 8 of Cups with you walking away. It's about endings. And with this in your emotions, hopes, and fears, this is about fearing death. You're fearing this change. You're fearing moving on to this new transition. Or alternatively, you could be fearing not changing and not moving on, and something not ending and just like perpetually being there, and a situation that's just never ending, a never ending story situation where it just does not go away. So it might also be that you're resisting this change and not, pressing forward with something that needs to happen. You need to end a phase of your life and go forward into this, new life. And that's actually here too. The new life card is here. We have another 3 card at the end of this too. This is the outcome. It's 3 of Cups reversed. Sorry. I just bonked her in the head with my elbow. The 3 of Cups upright talks about a third-party relationship again. So this might be Sagittarians. A lot of you guys have been participating in some sort of interrelationship thing where you guys are in a third-party relationship. I'm sorry to say. It might not be all of you, but, there's a bunch of 3s on here. There's sneakiness involved. And there's somebody walking away, which is good. But the 3 of Cups is reversed. So either it is that you guys are walking away and ending this thing, which is good. Ending this third-party relationship thing. Or it's deepening and you guys are going sneakily into it. Just like every reversal has 2 ways that it can go. You can either, end it and that was the ending side of this meaning for the card, or it is being exasperated. Three of Cups can also talk about celebrations and drinking, and I know a lot of you Sagittarians out there love to go out and party, and so it might be over drinking too. It can just, it doesn't have to be about a third-party relationship. It can be about you guys over drinking. So please be careful. This is the weekend. I don't know. Be careful, guys. Drinking heavily is not good for your health, and yeah. I'd hate to see you guys having to, like, transplant a liver. I don't care if you guys do think your livers are cast iron. They are not. I swear they are not, and they will get damaged at some point. And you guys will have to go on dialysis and all that kind of crazy stuff. And you guys are Sagittarians. You guys are awesome. I don't want to see you guys go on dialysis because you guys drink too much. So, in this opposite energy line is the rebirth card. This is the new life card, but it is reversed just like the death card. So in this opposite energy line, somebody else is feeling the effects of you resisting moving through this transition. This opposite energy is feeling the feeling this resistance, or feeling this slowed down change that has to take place. Like, the ending has to take place, but somebody's resisting it. And over here, this person wants a new life, but it's taking a very long time, just like the death card is. Being major arcanas, they are something that needs to happen. Like, this death card needs to go upright so that there is an actual ending, so that this person can get this judgment card upright, so that they can have their new life. Interesting. So, in their environment and how people see them, it might be like the person around them, this is them, or it can be just how that person around them sees them, is the Five of Pentacles upright, and that is searching for spiritual healing or searching for spiritual guidance, feeling destitute and closed out, left out of a situation. It can be like the person feels like they're closed out of oh Lord, what's that song? You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Yeah, that thing. Don't mind my singing, it's horrible, I know. But that's that song, they're locked out of heaven. But they actually aren't, and they can find their help and their healing if they just like ask for it, if they knock on the door. But they're like walking around out here all destitute and sad, but they're outside of a church, and the church would let them in if they would just, knock on the door. If they just go and ask for help, if they just go. It can be also financial destitution as well. It can be spiritual destitution. It can be health destitution. It can be financial, spiritual, and health. That's Pentacles. That's the energy for Pentacles. But it's a lack, and somebody's feeling locked out and a lack of one of those aspects. So that might be in the environment. They aren't getting what they need, so they're walking away, basically. Hi, Hannah. She couldn't come up this way, so she like went up through the other way. And so in the hopes, fears, and the emotions card is the Ten of Pentacles, which is like the pinnacle of a phase or a situation in your life. Being Pentacles, it can be the relationship, it can be finances, or it can be health. It can be that spiritual aspect. It can be like somebody's feeling at the top of their health, the top of their finances. They have a good stable relationship, or they have great belief and faith, but it is at the top and the pinnacle of that thing. And it does need to be moved forward. Again, this is about changing and phases ending so that you can begin something new. Like, stuff doesn't always stay at the 10. It transitions and moves back down to the 1. It's always a cycle. Like, you gain a certain sense of stability in something, in your faith, in your finances, in your love life. You gain that certain sense of stability in those things, and then you take another step forward, and that foundation will always be in place, and it's solidified, and that's a step up, and you move on to building the next step that you can have in your life and build upon. And so that's the Ace of Pentacles, and that's another foundation, another thing to move forward on. Life is always changing and growing, and for earth signs, it's always like very, very difficult to take that step forward after they've built the last step, because they like standing on that last step. They don't like putting their foot forward in order to advance to this new stair. Yeah. It's like life is a staircase for earth signs, and they're continually building the next stair, or building the stair that they're on. And once they've built that stair that they are on, they like standing there and going, this is my stair and I'm going to stay here. Even if it is just like one step off the ground, they're like, this is my stair and I'm going to stand on this stair. And they don't realize that they could, lift their leg up and create this new stair. And so it's very, very hard to transition for them, because it's an unstable feeling to like put your foot up and move on to the next stage in your life, and the next stair in your life. So yeah, that's basically the 10 of Pentacles, where you have your foundation now and you're at the pinnacle, but you need to transition to this new stage in your life. You can't just stay there forever. And so the outcome for this is the 8 of Wands reversed. The 8 of Wands, of course, reversed can have two meanings. It's either non-communication, somebody not saying things, or the communication coming in wrong, or miscommunication, or it's going very slowly. Or it can, the opposite of it is that it can come in extremely fast and passionate. And yeah, it's just like overbearing and completely belligerent. But I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling it's more stable and slow, and if at all, if it comes in at all, there's like, it might just be no communication at all coming through. And if it does come through, it's very slow and stable and grounded. So yeah, Sagittarius, it seems like you have a phase in your life that you are moving forward with. It seems like you're growing up a bit too, hopefully. I mean, ending a third-party situation, not wanting to be sneaky anymore. You're having trouble moving on to this new phase, and it's taking a long time, but you feel the energy of this Queen of Pentacles, which is very stable and grounded. It might be an earth sign that is affecting you. Or it might be finances, spirituality. A person who's very deep in one of those things. Spirituality and finances, or, yeah. I'm sorry, baby girl. I'm going to have to take my arm back so I can do advice. Alright. Sagittarius. Let's see if we can get some advice for Sagittarius. Somebody does feel like they're not getting what they need, though, and maybe that's why you're walking away. You're not getting that that help that you need, or that spiritual abundance, or it can be financial abundance. Maybe somebody's feeling financially destitute, and that's why you're walking away from them. Because, yeah, top of thoughts is like the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Maybe somebody's like actually poor, and you're walking away from them because they're poor. Which is kind of, you know, unity, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends, which is the Hierophant card. This can be a Taurus person in your life. The world, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. This is also about Saturn and karma and evolution, evolving. Walking through the karma, the karmic cycle, breaking karmic cycles, ending karmic cycles, learning from the past, and moving forward from that and into a new life. One more card, please. One more card for Sagittarius. Even though it feels like it's like this one. Faith. Leap of faith. Follow your dreams. Unexpected opportunities. You know, I'm not going to judge you if you walk away from someone just because they're poor. I mean, really? You're going to walk away from, like, somebody because their financial situation isn't the best? If they can take care of themselves, even if it's, like, shakily, but the love is there, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of snobbish, though, like walking away from a person because they're poor. So you might be like judging this person because they're destitute and you are financially stable, and so you're not talking to them. And they're sitting there in a third-party situation, you know, like holding a torch, and they're trying to end this thing. And they actually are. It's like a third-party situation that they really don't like, that's been hurting them. And you're showing up as confused and not knowing what to do, and, you know, or they're showing up as confused and not knowing what to do. But you or they have to follow their truth, find that inner truth and follow it. And it's just not happening. And somebody's sitting here defending their beliefs, though. Like, standing on their ego and defending what they believe instead of, you know, what is truth. Because your ego is not your, you know, truth. Your ego is just this facade that has been built around you by society. Structures. That's what unity is all about. Structures. It's interesting. On one side we have Taurus, on the other side we have Aries, and in the middle we have the world. Archangel Michael. Karmic cycles ending. But yeah, I hope this resonated with you, Sagittarius, and I do wish you a great rest of September. If you would like a reading from me, my email is in the description, and also my prices. And if you would like a tarot reader for your event, or you know, a community gathering or anything, or if you have a party or something you want a tarot reader there, shoot me an email and we will see if we can set that up, right? If this does not resonate with you, then please check your ascendant and moon and Venus sign, okay? And I will talk to you later. Have a great September.